Members' statements today, we will hear from the honourable members for the districts of Mount Pearl North, Labrador West, St. John's East, Vidi, Virginia Waters-Pleasantville, and Cape St. Francis. The honourable member for Mount Pearl North.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to thank Visions Employment Plus Incorporated for the valuable service they provide to their clients. Established in October 1994, they are a not-for-profit, community-based employment corporation providing employment services and supports to individuals with a primary diagnosis of intellectual disability. Vision's employment objective is to provide the supports and services and in the creation of equal employment opportunities for their clients while providing ongoing support and assistance in the monitoring and maintenance of existing employment placements. Their client population is unemployed adults and youth with primary diagnosis of intellectual disability eligible for the services under the Labour Market Agreement for persons with disabilities who face barriers to employment. Employment partnerships and services extend throughout the City of Mount Pearl and surrounding areas. Mr. Speaker, I ask all honourable members to join me in thanking Visions Employment and their supporters for all the valuable work that they do for their clients.
The honourable member for Labrador West.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in this honourable House today to pay tribute to Gordon Parsons, a legend and patriot of Labrador. Mark Twain once said, "Never pick a fight with somebody who buys ink by the barrel." Such was the case with Gord when he was editor and owner of the Aurora newspaper, but he was fair. Gord was born in St. John's, educated in Flat Rock, and moved to Goose Bay in 1963 and to Labrador West in 1973. Gord quickly adopted Labrador as his new home, and he became immersed in the many activities of the Big Land. He was part of the first group to travel Route 389 to Bay Como and the Trans-Labrador Highway to Happy Valley Goose Bay, long before they were called highways. Gord's many interests included bird watching, ham radios, pistol and rifle shooting, photography, and especially the environment. And he became an active in all organizations associated with them. Gord loved the Labrador land and its wildlife, especially birds, but most of all, he loved his people. Gord passed away on March the 15th at the age of 73 years, and I asked all honourable members to join me in the celebration of a life gone way too soon. Rest in peace, my friend.
The honourable member for the district of St. John's East, Vidi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I stand on March 28th, what would have been the 74th birthday of Michael John Jones, father, grandfather, brother, uncle, visionary filmmaker, inspirer, and mentor especially of young people. Had Mike lived 2 more years. His untimely death has brought to the general public the man behind the scenes, the co-founder of the Filmmakers Cooperative NIFCO, known to his peers as the godfather of filmmaking in this province, a multi-million-dollar industry now that began with the iconic The Adventure of Faustus Bidgood, the making of which in itself was an adventure. As described by brother Andy Jones, the crazy, best out of control, scariest, most passionate thing I have ever done, and the closest attempt at pure art that I was ever involved in. What a description of Mike's life and work. I ask the members of this House to join Mike's family, friends, and colleagues in the film industry as they celebrate his life and grieve the loss of this vital person. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for the district of Virginia Waters-Pleasantville.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I too would like to welcome the students and staff at St. Paul's. I rise in this honourable House to congratulate the students and staff at St. Paul's Junior High on the fantastic spring fling this past weekend. This celebration is an annual event organised by the students each spring with close to 400 people from the community in attendance, and it was a resounding success. With the theme, music, movie, and more, the students played classic numbers such as Mission Impossible theme song to more recent songs like How Far I'll Go from Moana. From small group performances and an a cappella choir to strings and percussion ensembles. The talent shown by these students is amazing and keeps getting better. This show had an audience, had the audience laughing and singing along, making it an enjoyable afternoon for everyone involved. All in attendance were treated to a wonderful assortment of desserts to enjoy, as well as numerous unique auction items. It was an exciting end to a magnificent event. The Spring Fling would not have been possible without the dedication and commitment of the entire school community. Thank you to the students, the teachers, the staff, and all volunteers who were involved in this first-class production. Always remember, students don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Thank you.
The honourable member for the District of Cape St. Francis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to congratulate the Northeast Eagles, who, on March 6, edged past the St. John's Caps to win the Don Johnson Hockey League Adam B crown. Mr. Speaker, it was a very special win for the Eagles, not only because it was the first time the team has won from the Northeast Eagle Minor Hockey Association the crown, but it was also winning in front of their hometown fans, and a great crowd it was at the Jack Byrne Arena. The Northeast Eagles consist of 9 and 10-year-olds, children from Torbay, Flat Rock, Logie Bay, Middle Cove, Otter Cove, Pooch Cove, Portugal Cove, St. Phillips, and members of the winning team were Evan Adams, Cameron Boland, Sam Chalk, Ethan Flaherty, Maria Groves, Alex Hickey, Drew Hudson, Olivia King, Alexander Maynard, Lucas Mitchamore, Ryan Molan, Dawson Parsons, Owen Parsons, Leon Rose, Nathan Rose, AJ Sims, and Mark Hewlin. The wonderful group was coached by Keith Maynard and Blair Boland and Ian Rose. Mr. Speaker, the Eagles were already having a great season. In January, they won gold at the Canadian Hockey Enterprise Tournament in Montreal. I ask all honourable members to join me in congratulating the Northeast Eagles on a successful season and wishing the team good luck in their upcoming provincial tournament in Harbour Grace this Easter. Thank you.